Wait a minute, I hear something.
Dr. Movie! Dr. Movie! Blueberry News! Dr. Movie! Dr. Movie! Yeah!
That's right. It's Dr. Movie time again. Back with another episode. And on this one, we're going to talk about a bona fide classic that's shameless enough. I've never sat and watched the whole thing. I've only seen parts of it. And that movie being the 1973 movie, The Sting. The Academy Award winning movie that just kind of just blew the roof off the place when it came out. 73, right? I'm 3 years old. So by the time this thing is repeated on TV and stuff, which it was on a lot, again, you only caught it in pieces. And, you know, this was one of those that never could keep my attention for very long, because if you don't watch it from the beginning, you really don't know what's happening. So, got a chance to actually sit down and watch this one, and I'm glad I did. And I can see why this one's so popular. So it's a, like I said, 1973 drama comedy. It's a dramedy, people. Yeah, that's your new word for the day, a dramedy. So what's this about? Let's see here. Again, got to find a regular length synopsis here. Well, man, you want to talk about a short synopsis? Here we go. Two grifters team up to pull off the ultimate con. Wow. I love it. Again, you know, it's a Judge Roy Hill flick, right? Which I'm an absolute fan of. Why it took me this long to get to this one. But still, this movie is one of the biggest movies of the 70s for sure. Just cleaned everybody's clock at the Academy Awards. And that's the synopsis we get. Oh, man. Now, if it'd been like Galaxy of Terror or something like that, some Roger Corman flick, it'd be like 4 pages long. I love it. So, yeah, let's talk about this one. Talk about our cast. Come on, Robert Redford. I mean, Paul Newman. Robert Shaw. You know, which Robert Redford plays Johnny Hooker. He's a small-time thief, con man, and he has a partner at the beginning of the movie, which is Robert Earl Jones. Luther is the name of the character, and they pulled a con on this guy who's delivering money for a guy. He's delivering money from illegal horse racing, right? I believe that's what they're doing. And so they pull this con on him and end up getting his money from him that he's supposed to deliver, which is like, I think it's like $14,000, something like that. And at the end of that, they split the money, and Luther says he's out. He's done. He don't do this no more, but I can hook you up, Robert Redford, with a guy that can teach you how to hit the big time. And that is Paul Newman, Henry Gondorf. It's Gondorf. So the White Wizard, and Robert Shaw is Lonigan, who is the kind of the head crime boss around in this area, right? So these two guys decide to get together and pull the biggest con and get money from Robert Shaw. And that's the whole build-up for all of this. Matter of fact, things get bad where the guy that was supposed to deliver the money didn't, and it ends up being Robert Shaw's money that's being moved around through the police. So that's how deep this thing goes, which, come on, it's just like it is now. If you don't believe that, then you get some education to do, because your politicians, your mob bosses, they're all tied in, right? I hate to tell you this, but they're all crooks. Every one of them. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just the truth. I think they get into politics to try to do good things, but then they end up playing the game. And if you don't play the game, you get killed. That's pretty much it. Remember the song Cult of Personality? Right? When a leader speaks, you know, that leader dies. Yeah, if you speak out of your term, out of your time, then they have no more use for you, right? So just be aware of that, because that's how these games are played, right? If you don't think that, you know, this stuff isn't happening, then come on, man. I mean, they did, what was it? They busted a police officer, I don't remember where, but like the biggest methamphetamine bust in American history, and it was I don't know if she was a sheriff or what, but she was running this whole ring. So yeah, there you go. Anywho, let's get back to this flick. We've got, I mean, come on. There's so many people in this movie that you know, maybe not know them just from looks, but you know them, well, not from names, but you know them from looks, right? I mean, I could name off all these names, you'd be like, I have no idea. But if I showed you a picture, you'd go, oh yeah, it's the dude from this, the dude from that, right? Aline Brennan's in this, and she is fantastic in this movie. I love her in Clue, but I think this may be my favorite role of hers. I mean, Harold Gould, John Quaid, I mean, all these people are in a ton of things that we've seen growing up. Great flick. Yeah, I mean, it has so many twists and turns that keep you going that you realize that everybody that they try to trust and all this stuff are all tied into something else, right? Because there's this lady that Robert Redford's character, he's alone at this point because they've, you know, Lonigan has had some people come in and kill off his partner, Luther. And so this is all about getting revenge, right? And he gets Paul Newman to teach him how, and they set up the sting. And it's a long, elaborate, planned out thing. And you wonder if they really calculated everything, or did some of it just kind of work out that way, right? It's supposed to be based in the 30s. So that gives you that early, you know, gangland type setting, which I always love. And come on, man, Robert Shaw is Robert Shaw. And the acting in this is top-notch all the way around. But I love that they set up the entire fake factory, basically. They buy this little pool hall and dress it up and make it an underground gambling racket, right? None of it's real, right? I mean, that's what's awesome about it. They got Ray Walston in here. That's right, Mr. Hahn from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, who's in this. And they're calling horse races. And they set up this system to where they act like they know who's going to win it beforehand. They get Robert Shaw involved in it, and he gets so used to them winning with it, he decides to do a big amount of $500,000. And this is what they've been waiting for. And this is, but what it is they're just making it all up. And Ray Walston's in the room next door, and just is over an intercom like he's on a radio and calling the race, even though he's in the room next door, just so they could set it all up. And everybody in there are all hired people that all get a cut of this $500,000 just to pull it off on this guy, right? And you get FBI agents involved, you get the police involved. Everybody's after Robert Redford's character because he's either ran counterfeit bills or he owes a police officer money who's coming after him. I mean, you've got all these scenarios, and it's a great flick. I totally understand the appeal. I really want to watch it again now and put some of the pieces together. So if you like the movies that kind of make you think a little bit and you start trying to figure things out, plenty of twists and turns. It's almost like it's not as deep as like an Agatha Christie whodunit kind of thing, or a giallo, or even like Knives Out, but it has that kind of feel to it, where you're that invested in the characters. And maybe this was way ahead of its time for that, but what a great flick, right? So I'm going to cut this one kind of short because it's legendary, right? This is one of the biggest films of the 70s. I just wanted to cover it just because I don't want to leave anything unturned here. And the fact that I got to watch it, I watched it on Netflix. And, man, y'all need to check this one out. This is a great, great flick. And you're kind of going to be as surprised with some of the things that happen in it as the characters in the movie is. So that says a lot. So check this one out. Let me know what you think. If you're a fan of this flick, or you're saying, Rick, how did you go this long and not see this movie, right? Well, you know, everybody has their gaps, right? This is one of my gaps. But that gap has been closed. Like sealed shut, closed, right? So yeah, anxious to hear other people's opinions on this one, because again, it's a 70s flick, which again I have a soft spot for. But yeah, anxious to see what your opinions and thoughts on this movie is. This is a 5 out of 5. It shouldn't be a surprise. This is a great, great flick. It is fantastic movie making. So there you go, folks. That's all I'm really going to talk about on this one. All I can do is encourage you to take the time, sit down and watch it. It's kind of a long movie, but that's okay. You need to see it. If you're just a movie cinephile in any form or fashion, yeah, this one's worth its weight in gold. This is a great flick. All right, folks, that's all I got for this one, and we will check you later.